We are live. We are live.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, step over this way a little bit because there we go. Now we can see you. We do that every morning.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. It's Friday. We've made it to the end of the week. Woohoo! And we have our registration plate for our Airstream. We are officially registered and insured and ready to put her on the road. We've got the brake system done yesterday.
Not tested yet because we have to figure out how to spin the thing around.
Yeah, but that's spin the Airstream around. Where it's parked, we need to, we can't get in there yet, so we have to figure that out. But anyway, she's all registered. Her name is Absolute Abundance. We call her Abby, and 2s are my number. I was born on the 22nd. And so we named her Abby 222, and 2s are significant of joining together. And so that's why we did it. So with the registration plate is on order. It takes 4 or 5 weeks to get it, so we have this temporary plate. But super excited to get that done. That was a big, huge task to get done and pay the Maine state sales tax. Boo! Anyway, now on to step 10 or 20, which
I don't know. We've done a lot of steps already.
She probably needs some new tires before we head out in September, and we're getting the tire pressure things put on so it tells what the heat of the tires are.
Sensor gauges.
Sensor gauges on the tires. And what's cool about this whole adventure is we're learning so many things. Like, we had no idea that we needed any of this stuff when we had the dream of doing this. But it's all coming together. We're making it work. We're just taking one step at a time. We're also purging all of our belongings.
Good heavens.
So the bed frame went yesterday. We still have the mattress on the floor. Our couch and chairs went a few days ago. And we're slowly getting stuff out of our place. And next will be clothing. I have to go through all my clothes and figure out what I want to take and what I have to give away or sell. We were talking about this morning, it's an interesting ride in terms of emotions. It's exciting. It's daunting because there's a lot of work involved because we're also still working. I have a coaching business and we also do tile together. So it's interesting. Yesterday I had emotions about the bed leaving. I don't know where that came from, but some energy came out in the form of crying. And then this morning I'm super excited. So it's been literally a roller coaster of emotions. And that's the cool part about it. And what we want to make sure of is that we are enjoying the journey and we're not just roughing through it and trying to get through it. We're actually enjoying the challenges and the exciting times. And
it's been an exercise in letting go of attachment. That's for sure.
Yeah, and we haven't even.
Crap.
We're not done with that yet. We're going with minimal stuff because that's all we can fit in the Airstream, right? So anyway, stay tuned and we'll keep you posted on more as we go along. We should be taking her on the road this weekend and parking her in the spot that she will be for the summer. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, we'll take a road trip up to Greenville with it before we leave.
Yeah, after we need tires first, I think, because they've been sitting for a little bit. But anyway, I'm also talking this morning about your legacy. Have you ever thought about what you're going to leave as a legacy? What is a legacy? We all, I think, most humans want to leave behind something that is good for the future generations. And it can be in the form of a lot of different things. It can be knowledge. It can be mentorship. It can be a physical thing you build or a book you write. I'll give an example. David has his martial arts teacher left a legacy. David talks about him often, about what he has said, about what he taught. He passed away. How many years has this been, do you think?
06.
Passed away in 2006. But the memory of him still lives by the things that he taught to others. And David talks about him often in his words and, the things that he did, and remembers things. And so that's a legacy. A legacy could be in the form of a book. My business partner wrote a book, The Truth Bomb. It's on Amazon. You can purchase it on Amazon. And that's part of her legacy. And you don't have to have kids. If you don't have kids, that's okay. Leaving a legacy for future generations has nothing to do with whether you have children or not. You can do it for your kids, but you can do it for other people too. And there's lots of different ways to leave a legacy. We are leaving a legacy of knowledge, inspiration, health, physical fitness, morning routine, that type of thing, for future generations to learn from. And if they see these videos years from now, they'll be able to
Felipe.
learn what we are. Hey, Felipe, thanks for joining us. They'll be able to take our knowledge and what we're doing and use it for their benefit. Correct. So think about that. Comment in the chat box below what kind of legacy do you want to leave for future generations. It's something to think about. And you don't have to wait until you get old, because you might not make it. I'm just being honest, right? So even if you're young, in your 20s or teens, you can start making a legacy that can be given to future generations at your age, because you never know how long you're going to be on this beautiful earth. Having said that, let's get started with a warm-up. So everybody up off their seats. I'm going to make sure we can see David, because we have a tendency of not being able to see him. No, it's not. You're the trainer. Everybody, we're going to just start with a little bit of a warm-up here. And we'll do hops. Rock down arms.
Shake your muscles off the bone.
This feels so good on my neck today.
Raise your shoulder blades as you come up. Drop them down as you fall down.
This feels great on your feet too. You don't have to hop. You can just do this, and you don't have to hop all the way up. But if you do hop up, it does incorporate your feet and your ankles. Just gets everything working up. Karate chop. You want to do the same thing with your shoulders and arms. Just loosen them up. And then as your pinky finger comes down towards the floor, you're just letting it all go. Just shaking it out. Bend at the knees slightly. Grip with your toes. Nice, easy warm up. Just feels good getting all that, negative energy out. Heart opener is one of my favorites. As we open up our arms, just come back as far as you can. You don't have to crank your arms back, but feel the gratitude for everything that you have in your life today as you open up your heart. And you can literally feel that. And as we come around, we're doing a little bit of a qigong practice, body tapping, wherever your hands hit. You can use whatever pressure you want. You can go with a light fist or open up into a hand. Beating the temple drum. This is what this is called. And we're folding at the hip crease.
Sink down low, bending both knees.
And tapping your body as you come around. Beating the temple drum. Now I like this one because of the name.
You're the drum.
But, I say this a lot. Body tapping is amazing. You can do your whole body. We've done it here before on some, and you can do it any time of the day. So if you're, if you're at a desk and you're falling asleep, you can get up and do some body tapping.
And you want to really disturb your neighbors in the cube farm.
Doing some head rolls, nice and easy. Don't need to crank on it. God, that sounds like a mean term. You don't need to crank on it.
You're right on it.
Sorry about that. I shouldn't apologize. I should be proud of my Maine accent and my heritage.
I don't know about an accent. It's more like just mispronouncing stuff.
Well, it's a part of the accent, because when Mainers don't pronounce the H's and R's and things, we gotta go to the car.
Yeah.
Look to the left or look to the right, just kind of getting your neck and head warmed up.
Ear to shoulder.
Ear to shoulder. Ear to shoulder. Don't forget to exercise your eyes. We've talked about this before. We're doing hip circles right now, but we can do some eye exercises in a minute. Hip circles, make sure you really get in the corners, so come up into the corners. This is gonna be helpful to warm up if David has us doing any kind of get up work or hip work. And this is where I feel the most stiffness in my body. One of the cool things about doing the things that we do in the morning is that we get to know our bodies pretty well. And my hips are the tightest area for me. Knee circles, put your feet together and just gently go around. Be careful of the pressure that you're putting on your knees, but you can also incorporate your ankles by lifting up your toes and your feet as you come around. Going to the right, and then we reverse direction and go to the left. Just warming up the joints, getting them so we can move. I want to do another thing that's stand feet hip width distance apart. Get a really good grip on your toes, and we're gonna lift your toes all the way up. Toes up. Yep. And now do the opposite and lift your heels up. Toes up, heels up. We do a lot of work with our feet with kettlebell, gripping, making sure that we're stable on the ground or on the earth. Perfect. Awesome.
Reach overhead, shift to the left, and lean to the right.
You can even pull on your wrist, the upper wrist a little bit, just to get a nice stretch on the side
Shift
body
to the
here.
right, lean to the left.
This feels amazing. Yeah. Let's do some shoulder rolls before we get down there. And you can do it 2 different ways. David's doing just arms out. I have my hands on top of my shoulder caps and just kind of really get a good reach back. Don't forget to breathe, and then opposite direction. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That feels good. All right, I feel like I'm ready.
Just come on down to the floor first. And hands on the knees and roll back.
So the key to this is tucking your chin.
And now roll and come up on one side. Shift, twist your feet and come up on the other.
Oops.
Now, make a circle with your hands, pushing your palms away. And you'll find that you can lay the hand down, elbow, shoulder, and roll up on the other side. So it's literally like rolling on a wheel. Feel it?
Yes.
And now freeze. Pick yourself up. Bring that leg through and place it. And stand. Nice. All right. Let's come over to our kettlebell.
That was some fancy footwork. Butsy's up. Hey, Buckaroo. Hey, good girl. You up?
All right. 2 hands on the bell. Bring it around the body. 1, 2, 3, 4.
This is where I've got my feet gripped into the mat. Core is tight.
Other way. Whoa. And bring it to the middle. Sit back into your hips. Pop it up. Press it overhead. 1. Down to the bottom. And 2. 3. 4. 5. Go to 10. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Set it down.
Whew, that was a good little start.
Now, in the past, we have tried. Come on, buddy. Over here. Pull it down. In the past, we've done something where we've tried to roll back and come up. This is not an easy thing to do, but you can make it a little easier if you had a weight out here, because it's in this transition, it's getting up. But if I had a big weight right here, it would help me. And that's what we're going to use the kettlebell for.
Okay.
We're going to do an exercise called the deck squat.
Deck squat.
The deck squat.
Okay.
And the deck squat looks like this. I take my kettlebell and I do a squat, and then I hit the deck. And you see how the weight of the kettlebell helps me up?
Yeah. You have to have good momentum. Okay.
That's the exercise. So I'm going to have you try that.
Okay.
Believe it or not, it's easier with a heavier kettlebell. So first let's try that one and see how it goes.
Oops. Oh, I had this sitting up on this. So it's like this?
Bring it up in front of your chest. Good. Now, you're going to sit back, you're going to sit down, and you're going to push that up a little bit as you roll back.
Push it up where?
You're going to push it away from you. You don't want it near your face as you
Okay.
roll back. So you're going to make sure you push it away from your face. And then use it. Yeah, that's it. And now that's the challenge you can feel it though, right?
Yeah. The first time doing it, it's kind of scary.
It is. But get your hips up high when you roll back.
Okay.
And come back as fast as you can. And the kettlebell will help you. And see if you can make it up. Here we go. Oh yeah, there it is. The deck squat.
The deck squat.
See if you can do 3 of them. Yeah, buddy. Good. Nice.
Cool.
Excellent. So there's an exercise that we weren't able to do earlier,
Yeah.
right? And that's a matter of flexibility of your psoas, really. The ability to flex your psoas hard enough to overcome these back muscles and go around your back.
I did hear a little thumping,
Yeah,
so I could concentrate on that a little more.
absolutely. When you get rid of that thumping, ittle come nice and smooth.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I did it. I got up on my feet.
Very good, very good. Okay, let's bring our bell back to the middle of the mat.
I like these new things. Thanks for showing us the new stuff.
All right. So we're going to work on our side bend series because today we're going to work on the bent press.
Okay.
So without using the bell, we're just going to turn our feet 45 degrees, hand on the hip, other hand facing forward. Now feel the direction that your hips move. It's not forward and back because I'm turned to the side. I'm moving my hips to the left and to the right. I move it all the way to the left. Now, here's what people tend to do. Watch this. People tend to go, okay, I've moved my hip, now I'm gonna bend. That's not it. You move your hip and that starts to bend you. You keep moving your hip and look at the angle of my back leg. I've gone from straight up and down to backwards, not this way, right? My leg should not be angled this way. It should be angled the other way. And the further you push your hips, the greater that angle becomes. What people tend to do is they go just a little bit and they say, okay, I've moved my hip, now I'm gonna bend down. Wrong. You feel that last little bit of reach? Freeze. There it is. So let's do this. Right now, your hip, your leg is at this angle. That's pretty good. You want this.
We can't go back that way.
I understand. I'm just saying, you go back as far as you can and then come back up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And a lot of people will go as far as they
And
can
then bend.
and then bend.
Yeah.
That's not what you want.
Because my hips, so your hips may only go a certain distance. That's me. My hips can't go as far back as
At the
David's at the moment because I just don't have the flexibility in my hips.
Right, and when we say flexibility, we don't mean stretchability. We mean flexibility, meaning I'm flexing so as, and that is the extent of my ability to flex so as. If I increase my ability to flex it by firing it harder, I will increase my flexibility. Do you follow me? It's not the stretchability of your hip that is limiting the motion. It is the flexibility of the muscle on the other side. The more you fire so as harder and harder, the more it will stretch this muscle.
So interesting.
Most people think of it exactly the opposite of what they have to think of it in order to do it.
Because that's what we were taught.
Because that's what we were taught, because our people, they don't teach us shit about our bodies. So, let's try this.
Okay.
Now, we're gonna put the kettlebell over to the side. We're gonna put our hand on our hip. We're
That part.
gonna lean, you're gonna kick our hips back until we are as far as we can. Now, I want you to put your hand on your belly. I want you to imagine muscles deep under your belly, and you're gonna fire them. Harder, 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 harder. And if you can, grab a hold of the kettlebell. Now fire it harder. And come back up. Turn to the other side. Hand on the hip. Move the hip back. Keep moving the hip back by firing so as harder. Hard. Make sense?
Yeah.
Push this point back. More, 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 more. Yeah. Feel what that does?
Yeah. It's uncomfortable.
It's very uncomfortable. It should feel uncomfortable, weird, and wrong. If it feels uncomfortable, weird, and wrong,
You're doing it right.
you're probably doing it right.
But if you need help, and I'm talking to the couple that works out with us,
Yeah.
if you need help with your form, if you can't really see it or understand it, we'll do a Zoom call with you,
Yep.
just to let you know.
Okay, so now here's what our next exercise is. It's called the bench press. So we'll start going to the right. So the kettlebell's in our left hand in a rack position. And what I'm going to do is this. My forearm has to be plumb. It can't be here or here or here. Doesn't matter. It has to be straight up and down, aligned to gravity. It has to remain that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swing it to the outside as I kick my hip over. This keeps my elbow. See, right now, my elbow is directly over my hip, right? It's like if you're going to carry something heavy, like, oh, I don't know, mom carrying a baby. What do? Do they stand there like this? No, they kick their hip over like this and they hold the baby like this, because that makes a straight line from the weight of the baby down through the hip, elbow is on the hip, into the ground, right? So that's essentially the position you're looking for. And then you're going to swing the baby out as you kick your hip over and press, press, press to here. Now I'm in a I'm in a windmill position. Then I can raise all the way up. So this allows me to get, instead of pressing the weight, I stabilize the weight and I get my body under it. Then I can press and bring it over my head. So this is a way to use the big muscles of your hips and legs and lats to lift over your head instead of this tiny little muscle on the back of your arm. So here we go. Take your kettlebell, swing it to the rack position. Point your feet 45 degrees. Hand on the inside of the thigh. Look at the bell, swing it out, press it overhead. And then rise, return. Let me watch. Nice, and now come up. Very nice. Now pull it in. And the same thing. Watch it head. No, you had it right.
Oh.
Pull it in as you swing it across. Look at the bell. Press it to the ceiling. Nice. That's good. And then straight. Yeah, straighten your body up now. Return it. Now, hold right there. That was really good. You kept your core fired and your spine straight. What I want you to do now is I want you to think about getting you under the weight and then up. So think of pressing the weight, but also dropping under the weight. Yeah. Yeah. See, it's less about extending your arm. There it is. Now you can straighten. And boom. So the more you can straighten your arm because of getting under it. So
Right,
you
instead
can,
of just straightening your arm.
right, I can come to here, and I can press it the rest of the way, or I can continue to drop. And then
You try it with the other arm.
absolutely. Nice. Absolutely. Fire this muscle hard here. Keep it hard all the way through. Nicely done. Right. And bring it in, set it down.
One more time.
Sure. Yeah. You feel how you're getting there.
I'm engaging, when I engage this, it really helps. a lot.
Absolutely.
Both.
It's interesting. I can pull my arm towards me, or I can keep my hand where it is, bend my elbow and move towards my arm.
Yeah.
You see the difference?
Yeah.
Right?
And you can feel the difference in
When-
terms of,
Exactly. When you're doing this exercise, go ahead.
I was just saying, you feel the difference in terms of whether you're using just your arm or the weight and your body,
Yeah, getting under it.
yeah.
Absolutely. So it's a matter of firing your lat, right? Which your lat does this motion, right? Well, this motion is this motion, right? It's just whether I'm moving my arm or moving my body.
Yeah.
It's a matter of perspective. Okay, so while we're at it, let's do 3 more on each side of those exercises.
Okay.
This is bent press, and you can either go bent press and return it, or you can go bent press and then straighten and return. It's entirely up to you. Here we go. Grab the bell, swing it to the rack. Feet to the 45. Crush grip on the handle, so you're squeezing and crushing the handle. Lats fired. 1. 2. 3. Feet to the front. Change feet. Change hands. Turn the feet the other way.
Oops.
1. 2. 3.
Oh, I can probably start doing that with the bigger weight.
I think so too.
I went down to my smaller weight just to feel safe as I'm learning the thing, but I think now that I'm getting it, I could probably go to the bigger weight.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, so let's do this. Grab a pair of 8s. Here's another one for you.
Thank you.
All right, so we're gonna do an exercise where you're gonna have 1 to the rack and 1 to the bottom. And this is what it looks like. I'm gonna take this bottom one and I'm gonna go, these are going across, all right? I'm gonna swing this to the rack, swing this to the rack, all right? Swing it to the outside and then around. Nope,
Oh, the other way? Okay,
do it again.
show me.
There it is. Good. Now, so going left, right, that's a count of 1. Here we go. Left, right. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. Now, do them continuous. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Going to 15. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15.
Wow. Holy smokes, that works the shoulders
And biceps.
and core.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, those,
Holy.
I've gotten up to 100 before.
Wow.
And oh my gosh, the workout
I like those
and
though.
arms. Yeah, if you want to develop your arms, this is the
These
one.
we should do more often.
We will.
Because it doesn't take very long. Like you do let's say you do 20 of them to start. What, took us 2 minutes, 3 minutes?
Right.
And
It's
then
tremendous.
you can work
that.
your way up. But I really like those
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot.
Absolutely. Okay. We're going to press them overhead now.
Okay.
So we're going to do long cycles, swing to the rack and press. Now, my suggestion, don't stop. You can go swing to the rack and immediately press.
I tend to dip.
That's
I
fine.
tend to use my core to get it up.
You can swing to
See
the
how it
rack
goes.
and then use your hips to get some momentum on, right? Push
Now,
press.
you can also start by just pressing, and then as you get tired, you can use your hips.
Sure,
Okay.
absolutely. All right, here we go. 2 hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, going to 15. 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 more. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Whew.
Nice.
Awesome workout. Yay. Thanks for joining us, you guys. Appreciate it. Who do you have on here? I have to put my glasses on.
We have Salam saying,
Aaron.
hi guys.
Aaron. And then we have
Says that is amazing. You guys rocks.
Swartzy2727.
Said, look at his DM. So he sent me a message.
Cool.
Well, check it out.
Wow. Today's Friday. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. We don't just let the weekend happen to us. We create a fantastic weekend, just like we're creating a fantastic life, right? I don't know how many times I can say that. I'll say it every single day. We create our own lives. If you are in circumstances that are not right, that you don't feel good in, change it. You can do that. It's your right to do that. It's your life. We all need to live a life of passion and purpose. That's what we're here on this earth to do. And talking about legacy earlier, think about that. What do you want to leave for future generations? What do you have to offer? You have something to offer. We all do. So it's a good thing to think about and start working on. And it really will make your life more purposeful as well. Thank you for joining us today. We will see you Monday morning, bright and early at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for another Kettlebell training with Sensei David Hills and some inspiration. We're so happy that you're here with us, sending love to all of you in the world. Special healing energies for anyone in the world who needs it today, especially to my friend Augie.
Augie.
Who is in a
Get
Mexican.
better.
Yeah. Get better, Augie. We love you. Have a great day, everyone.